Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the West Covina Council meeting. We're going to get started. And my mic's on. Want me to speak louder?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the City Council meeting here in West Covina. First, we'll begin our meeting with our invocation by Pastor Kelly Dupuy from Faith Community Church, led by the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilmember Lane. Please rise.
All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you so much for your presence here tonight. Lord, we thank you, God, for all of the great things that you're doing in the city of West Covina and how you're blessing this city. Father, we pray your blessing will be upon tonight's meeting, on the wisdom that you will give the council members, on the decisions that they will make. Father, we pray, Lord, that you would watch over our city and protect us, Lord, keep us safe, God, and use us, Lord, as instruments to bring your kingdom and your goodness to everyone. Thank you, Lord, for your presence here tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. If you'll please join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam City Clerk, roll call, please.
Mayor Sanderson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Herford.
Here.
Councilmember Hernandez. Councilmember Lane. Here. Councilmember Toohey.
Here.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Hernandez will not be here this evening due to an emergency at home. Next on the agenda is reporting up from closed session, Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. The record should reflect that the City Council did convene its closed session meeting as listed on this notice of special meeting. All members of the City Council were present other than Councilmember Hernandez and Mayor Pro Tem Herford for all of the closed session items. With regard to the first item, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9a. In the case of Christopher Chung versus City of West Covina, there was a report given by special counsel. There was direction given by the City Council to special counsel. No final action was taken on that item, and I have nothing further to report. With regard to the case of Sue Williams versus City of West Covina, there was a report given to the City Council. There was no action taken on that item, and I have nothing further to report on that case. With regard to the case Sharon Garcia versus City of West Covina, there was a report provided by legal counsel. The City Council did authorize settlement in the amount of $17,500 as a full disposition of the case. That would constitute the council's final action on that matter, and I have nothing further to report. With regard to conference with real property negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.8, that being real property at West Covina Parkway and West Garvey Avenue, southwest corner. There was a briefing by staff. There was direction given by the council for staff to pursue further discussions. However, no final action was taken, and I have nothing further to report on that item. And that concludes my report out from closed session.
Thank you very much. Mr. City Attorney, any changes to the agenda?
I have no further changes to the agenda, Madam.
Okay. At this time is our presentation portion, and we are filled this evening. Looks like we're going to do a lot of presentations, so I'll come forward. Well, our first presentation, we have a certificate of recognition for the SGVA Arsenal Baseball Club, and I would like to call forward Michael Vieira, the manager of the 2010 AABC Mickey Mantle 16 and Under World Series champions.
I'd like to thank the City of West Covina for their support of our program. And for having us here tonight. I would like to congratulate our team on their win of our World Series. It's our first World Series win in 10 years of existence. It was played in McKinney, Texas, just outside of Dallas. We beat, I would say, 4 of the top 10 teams in the country. We finished in the top 3 nationally. It was a great honor for us. And I also like to recognize the 2 coaches that are not here today because they're in college and they're in school, Mario Romero and Jerry Pena, which are 2 original Arsenal players and former Duke players also. I'd like to also recognize Jim Giles coach in the back, as also one of the coaches on this team. It was a great honor and great road to get there. It was a accumulation of great teamwork, friends playing baseball together, and working on one common goal, and that was to bring home a World Series title and secure that ring for the program. So once again, I'd like to congratulate all the players. So if you can come up as we call your name, Steven Baltiera. Steven threw a no-hitter in the regional title game for us to get to the World Series. Von Bozoyan. Vaughn won the batting title at the World Series. Kenny Chapman. Kenny Chapman was named MVP of the World Series. Ty France. CJ Saylor. Austin Shives. Cody Thompson. James Zamaripa. Jim Giles. We have one quick presentation we'd like to give to the city. Cam Saylor will take care of that.
The guy I see on the lawnmower all the time.
How are you? Just for starters, this is the picture is of the entire program of the Maverick Academy. Dukes and West Covina Dukes and San Gabriel Valley Arsenal. I would say there's probably about 20-30 players in that.
Well, on behalf of Maverick Baseball Academy, West Covina Dukes, and Arsenal, we'd like to thank the City of West Covina for their continued support of not only our program, but as you can see, all the great baseball that goes on in this city. It's a great accomplishment for what goes on, and without the city's support, none of this could happen. So on behalf of the program, we'd like to present this to the City of West Covina.
Okay, I think we're going to get everybody together for a quick photo. Cameron, you have to stay here.
PDFs.
Well, not only is it baseball night, but baseball is West Covina. I think many of you know that. And we have so many wonderful parks and obviously so many wonderful participants, and we're so happy to have everybody here tonight. It just makes us so happy to know we have so many wonderful people in the community and the baseball players at that. So with that, our next group, West Covina Youth Pony Baseball All-Star Team, I will call forward Alex Chavez, manager of the West Covina Youth Pony Basketball All-Star Team. Hey, tell us a little about your team and what you got to do there.
Okay. Hello, my name is Alex Chavez, and I'm the acting current president of the league. And I was fortunate enough to get the 12-year-old team this year. The West Covina, first and foremost, I'd like to thank the council for your continued support. Tui, Hereford, Sherry, and yourself. Thank you very much for your continued support. It means a lot to the community, to our park itself, knowing that we have the support of the community and the council. Okay, so thank you. Our Bronco team went through some various tough competition this past 2 years, actually. Last year, I think it's 90% of the kids that are here tonight played last year as 11-year-olds. And we were one game away from the World Series last year. And we lost to Wanted, and Wanted ended up winning the whole World Series. So unfortunately, we didn't make it. This year, it was almost like deja vu. We went all the way, one game away from the World Series, and the same thing happened. We lost to Hawaii, and Hawaii won the World Series. So maybe third time is the is a charm. So we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on trying. We're going to keep on fighting. We're going to keep on working hard. As you can attest, your other kids here that are here tonight have gone through the program since they were 4 or 5 years old. Now they're 12s, and they got 2 more years to go at West Covina Wamarato, West Covina Youth Pony Baseball. So with that being said, I'd like to recognize the parents. I'd like to thank the parents as well. Without the parents' support and help, it creates more problems, more issues for the parents itself, for the coaches itself. I also want to thank the coaches. And all our continued support from all our coaches and parents, it really makes things easier. So with that being said, I'd like to thank 2 of my coaches here, 3 of my coaches who are here tonight. First one is Rick Curiel. Derek Nichols. And Coach James Travell. Okay. First off is Ace Alex Carrillo. Yes, he's 12. Second is Gabriel Chavez. Hey, baby. He's 7. Donovan Curiel. Eli Dedor. Chris Lopez. Did you get the email with the shirt? Jake Nelson. Dizzy Rodriguez. And DJ Stravell.
And Alex. And I know we're going to want another picture. Thank you for all you do for the kids and the parents and the volunteers and everybody working as a team. And we appreciate you being a part of our city and part of our community. You make it what it is and a great place to live. So thank you so much. Okay, and don't forget, I'm just going to mention this now so you guys don't leave. We have cake afterwards. So, all right.
In conjunction to the West Covina Pony Bronco 12-year-old team this year, we're fortunate enough to have a good core group, a good core group of kids and parents as well. So we decided to stick together. We've been playing with the Smash for 3-4 years now, some of them 5 years, and we decided to go to Cooperstown, New York. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce the manager of the SoCal Smash, James Travell.
Yeah, there's a couple kids that already, well, there's 2 still here that are on the Smash that didn't play this year at Wamorado, but this past year, but this year they are going to come in and play as 13-year-olds. So first of all, we have Ryan Franco. And Anthony A.C. Cuevas. And not here, but we have a big 6'1" pitcher that couldn't make it tonight from the Valley. His name is Adrian Rodriguez. He won't be here tonight, but he's still part of Smash. And pretty much this is it. I mean, the team that went to Cooperstown, New York, they outscored everybody 154-14 in their run to the championship. And down the stretch, they threw 3 shutouts in the last 4 or 5 games heading into the championship. They beat a team from San Diego, the San Diego Fear. 6-2, I think it was, in the championship. We hit 49, 50 home runs during the week's time there, and we had a great time. The boys were respected at the ballpark, and they were respectful to all their peers that were there, and got nothing but high praise the whole time they were there. And very proud to be a part of this staff, and proud of all the parents. And again, thank you for the city of West Covina. All these kids have come through your programs here in the city. So thank you all very much, and thank you for the time this evening. Thank you.
Hey, parents, get your cameras out.
That way, just a little bit. Keep shifting. You'll teach your coaches how to do that. Right. You got national championships, right? Yeah. If you pick the lead, they can start in there. Everybody look over this way. Okay? Okay, now we're going to look over here to this way. Most of you got hers, okay, down here to mom. Okay. That's for the coach. I believe that's it, right, folks? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, Alex.
Next up to bat, we have our Youth Pony Baseball All-Star team. Luis Velasquez, manager of the West Covina Youth Pony Baseball All-Star team, winning the 2010 Mustang Regional Championship.
First off, I'd like to thank the city of West Covina once again supporting Wamorado in the league. I was over here probably 2006 with the World Series team, but this year we came a little short. But we advanced. We played multiple tournaments, and we came up on top, and we advanced all the way to the Super Regions. which is a good accomplishment for the kids here. We probably played over maybe 35 to 38 games. That meaning that every time we played in a tournament, we're always on top, advancing and advancing. So once again, Sports Council and the City Council, I really appreciate all your hard work on the fields, maintaining the lights, and everything that you guys do for the community. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Don Alto Moreno. Really good pitcher, well-mannered kid, always there getting those key hits. Next kid is Isaiah Alvarado. Made some key hits in the super regions to advance in the first game. Next kid is one of our good pitchers, Aaron Gallegos. The first game, he came up with 2 runners on base and hit it straight away, dead center for a home run. Great job, Aaron. Next kid is Anthony Marquez. Mr. Consistent, always getting a hit when we need one. Great job, man. Next one's Eric Medina. Eric Medina had a really good changeup, and I tell you what, it probably strike me out. I mean, he was always consistent with it. Next one is Hector Melendez. He was my catcher and great hitter. Great hitter. Good job. Next one is his brother, twins, Jonathan Melendez. Every tournament, he got stronger and stronger. At the end, he got a lot of key hits for us. Good job. Next one, Carlos Morales. His nickname is the Big Unit. I tell you what, he got a lot of home. He actually got 2 home runs in the tournaments and did a great job. Next kid is Andrew Sanchez. He actually had the strongest arm in our team. Actually shut the teams out. I mean, great kid and a good bat. Okay. Next one is Christopher Chiriquez. Yeah, Chiriquez plays all positions, catcher, second base, and outfield. He did a good job. And the next one is my son, Luis Velasquez. Good job, son. Okay, the next one's actually they're not here. Okay. Okay. Once again, I'd like to thank my coaches. Actually, we have a big game this weekend coming up against Glendora, so he's out there at Cortez Park with the kids. I just left there, and my other coach, Carlos Morales, he's probably out there taking care of his little boy. So. Other than that, and myself, and manager. All right? All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm sure the parents want a picture. Yes.
Everybody, tighten it up a little bit. You're going to squeeze a little better. Keep going. So you can see her. There you go. Ready? Congratulations. Thank you very much.
I forgot to mention one thing, and I feel really bad. my team mom. She is the greatest. She actually helped us out the whole way there and put a lot of time and dedication to our team. Thank you. And the parents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank everybody. And I know our council is avid baseball and sports people, and we appreciate you guys being here tonight. Thank you. We have a few more presentations. Our next presentation is our photo contest. If any of you know about our photo contest that we have in our Discover, I'm going to ask Michelle McNeil to come forward, our Community Services Director, to call forward our winner of the August photo contest.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. Several of you have seen me come up here each month. As our mayor indicated, we have a monthly photo contest. It started in June. It goes through December. And we're really excited each month to come back and continue to award people for their creative talent. And this month we had several entries, so we actually wanted to award 2 different people. So our assistant city manager, our deputy city manager is going to throw the first photo up on the screen. This is a photo taken by our entrance named Michelle Souza. She's our honorable mention this evening. Is Michelle here tonight? All right, very good. Michelle's photo is an image that looks better than that. It's yeah, much better than that. It's a photo she took of a homeless man who cares for a number of pigeons. It's actually a really beautiful photo if you had the chance to see it. How about, should we wait? Yeah. And then our winner this evening is actually really exciting, Irene Fierro. If you want to come forward, Irene. Irene actually won our contest in June, right? Yeah, Irene was our first contest winner, and we're so proud to have her back. Her photo is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. So the theme this year, or the theme for this month was animals, and so she took a photo of a fly. It's just a small fly in her backyard, and it is absolutely stunning. The definition that she was able to get on it and the stillness. It's beautiful. I wish you could see it. But anyway, would you like to say anything?
Well, no, I just really love to take pictures. I bring my camera everywhere, and I have actually, batteries in my pockets all the time. And I really love to see moments, and then I take pictures of anything. So I have been lucky that I had catch animals and stuff, flowers that are really beautiful. So I really appreciate that you recognize that kind of.
We're just really fortunate to have artists in our community, and this is really an opportunity to kind of champion the artists inside of all of our West Covina residents. So if you know anybody who enjoys taking pictures, please have them go to our website, westcovina.org, to the community services page, and you'll see a photography contest, and we also have a creative writing contest going on as well. So we encourage you to participate. Irene, thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Good job, baby.
Every year we have our day at the fair and our community hero. I would like to read about someone I met recently that I just think is an amazing person. Spends so much time helping other people in their busy schedules, and I have a little something to read. Dr. Sylvia Lee Mann is a composer, conductor, performer appearing with many orchestras in Southern California area. She began her musical studies at age 4, completed her undergraduate studies at Chapman College, and did her graduate studies for the University of Southern California and London University. For many years, she has composed, conducted, and recorded music for independent feature films, theater productions, symphony orchestras, chamber music ensembles, choral groups across the nation. For the past 2 years, Sylvia has taken her extensive experience and love of music to volunteerism, and her dedicated of the arts to single-handedly coordinate the rebirth of the West Covina Symphony Orchestra. With over 60 members, the orchestra now performs at community events, churches, celebrations, fundraisers, and special events. I don't know if you've ever heard them, but they're absolutely amazing, and we are so glad to have you and your orchestra a part of our community, and your dedication and thousands of hours in volunteering is just amazing, and we appreciate all you've done. And you're a leader in this community and deserving of being the Los Angeles County Fair West Covina Community Hero for 2010. And I, with great apologies, I was unable to attend, recently started school. And that's a big deal for me, and it's been a great adventure as you in your life, and I would like to call you forward to accept, or do we have our, oh, you gave it to her at the day at the fair? Oh, there it is. I knew there was something special. I didn't know you were able to get it at the fair, but thank you so much for doing what you do. And thank you. On behalf of the City Council, we want to thank you, and I love your scarf. That's just very fitting, isn't it? And you need a picture. Would you like to say a few words?
Just a few. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing this work. Thanks to the City Council and to Michelle and friends for helping us do what we do. We couldn't do it without a place to rehearse, and the city has generously made it possible for us to rehearse, well, at least 3 times a month at the Senior Center, and occasionally we've been over at Hearst, and it makes it possible for us to do what we do. We have a couple people here. One's taking a picture. This is Sandy Gunn, our manager and my partner in crime here with the symphony. And we have a couple of our musicians here too, Nancy and Gail. Thanks for coming, girls. And I also see some of our loyal audience members, Beverly and Irene, are here as well. So thanks you guys for coming, and thanks for supporting us, and we look forward to, of course, more support and more participation, and we'll, keep looking at the website. All you have to do is look up West Covina Symphony. You'll find us. Yeah. Thank you.
We appreciate everything. We really do.
Thank you, Rick. Congratulations.
We're all, don't forget about cake. If you guys would like to join us for cake, upstairs. Next we have, if everyone knows, we have a proclamation for our Red Ribbon Week. And saying that fast is really difficult. I'd like to call forward Dr. David Alfaro and Don Fernald, the West Covina Rotary, who will receive our proclamation designating October 24th through the 30th, 2010 as Red Ribbon Week. How are you today? Nice to see you. And who is going to do the speaking? Love to see you.
And take it over, Dave.
No.
One of the things that we tried to do this year, the 20th anniversary, myself and one of the other Rotarians went down to San Diego this past week and spoke to Mika Camarena, who's Kiki Camarena's wife. She unfortunately will be in San Antonio and coming back the day of our rally. But her son Kiki, who's with the DA's office in San Diego, and a couple of their board members plan on being at the event. And she has made a somewhat committed to being there on November 3rd, I think is when we have our awards for the kids that win the poster contest, to present them with a pin and thank them for their work. And she said that she needs a little bit of lead time for her commitment to us next year, so I gave it to her 40 weeks in advance. So she hopefully will be with us next week. So we look forward to everybody being there. We should have a pretty good turnout, as usual.
Always as usual. Very good. And I would like to, on behalf of the citizens of West Covina and the City Council, with this proclamation, declaring Red Ribbon Week. Thank you. I don't know if council briefly wanted to take a 5-minute intermission to go upstairs and have cake and talk with people. It's up to, what's your pleasure? Yes. Would you like to do that? Yes? I hear a yes. Do you guys mind? What's that? I don't need to. You don't, okay, you good to go? All right. You want to go upstairs or you want to?
This should take 5 minutes.
You want to take 5 minutes real quick?
I ain't going to turn down cake.
Oh, see, there you go.
Madam Mayor, if I could show the photos are finally up.
Is that one of the pictures?
Check to see if there's anything left. When you lick the plates.
Oh, there it is. Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute intermission. Yes, we are. Mike said he wanted cake.
Well, I wasn't the only one. Sherry wanted some cake, too. He's the only one playing.
We'll be quick. And you're all welcome.
Maybe real fast, like I said, I think the cake's gone.
But they're a lot longer.
Bring back the draft, right, Bowie?
Bring back the draft. Hey, draft made boys in the
Okay, you
men.
can't go, you're told that.
Draft made boys in the men.
Hey, they either make it, we either make it, that was the
Don't break the green. Once you break the green. Go ahead. Shepherd of the Hill? Shepherd of the Valley?
Shepherd Valley was, which is now an Austin church.
Right, I know they changed.
Changed, yeah. Oh, right.
It's owned by the Methodists, but they rented it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, I was done with that. You got it. I just want to make sure, like, this is Yeah, you shocked me when you rode by that day. I'm used to watching you run by Merced.
I got to kind of break it up a little bit, you know. A little biking, a little running.
How you doing? Oh. How you doing? Yeah, I wasn't sure if you got something. That was fine.
I didn't get anything. They're not going to send anything to my house.
Hernandez has a plumbing issue. Oh, phone Rob. Okay. That's what the head of the fire union said about the letter they sent out to me and Andy.
Okay. What does it say?
It says Andy makes 400.
Then we're starting. Okay, our next item on the agenda, if we're all ready to get going, is our oral communications. It's a 5-minute per speaker, and you fill out the yellow cards that are top of the stairs, fill them out, give them to our city clerk, and I will call your name. Our first speaker is Mr. Lloyd Johnson.
Taco trucks and the other trucks. But what I don't know, do we have any regulations for the ice cream trucks? Problem with this, because the ice cream trucks go down our street after dark. I mean, I think there should be some kind of a time limit. When it starts getting dark, they should stop. I don't want to see any kids running out in the streets looking for ice cream when it's dark. And this happens every day during the summer, except when it starts getting cold. The ice cream trucks go up and down our streets after dark, so I'd like to see if we can do something about that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Jesse Valenzuela.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm an apartment manager over at 1800 West Badilla Street, the Heritage Park Senior Community. And my concern is the street sweeping. I noticed alongside the sidewalk, it's not clean at all. And we try and maintain the sidewalk nice and clean, but being that the cars don't move, we have a lot of cars alongside the road. We have some pictures right here. I don't know if you'd like to see them, but there's a lot of buildup alongside. Not only that, I think there might be a couple of vehicles that look like they've been there for a while. So I don't know the status, registration, if they're stolen. I have no idea. So I was requesting if maybe we can have some kind of street sweeping service for that area right there. So that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Tui.
One question, if the cars aren't moving, we don't have no parking on street sweeping day. Are you proposing that you're willing to ban parking in front of your facility on street sweeping day?
Yes.
City Manager, do you want a brief comment, and then you can, that's his card, and you can contact him and Mr.
Well,
City
that's my deputy there, but what we can do is arrange either special sweeping. I can have staff speak to you about some of the options that are available to you.
Okay, great.
We do have where you can get no parking on a particular street if you have issues, and it goes through a process. So they'll explain all the different options that you have.
Thank you very much.
Okay. What happens in this particular case, since they're the whole property owner? Do you still send out to the renters there, or is the property owner, since he owns 2,000 feet of frontage there, is it up to them?
We survey the property owner or their property manager, not the individual tenants.
Also, if I may add, too, in addition to that, there's 22 trees alongside that property right there. It's a lot of tree to maintain ourselves. A lot of the debris flows over into our property, too, and we got to clean that up as well. And that's pretty much it. Just want to add that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Bertie. I just saw you a minute ago. There you are.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, and staff. My name is Bertie, and I'm here on a different parking issue, but I'm going to back him up in a minute. I already discussed some of this with Mike Saturday. I went to the Japanese Community Center on Saturday, and I know that a couple of years ago I wrote a letter that was printed in the editorial section about attending functions at the Japanese Community Center, and the residents in the area, the general area around, are very rude. Saturday mornings, they'll put their trash cans out or they'll put cones out. And I took pictures this last Saturday at 11 a.m. I was unable to attend the Cherry Blossom because I made 2 attempts to go there. No parking at all. People had their trash cans lined up or they have cones. And some of these people are on Puente Avenue. Now, to me, the street is public property. At the Cherry Blossom, one guy attempted to get off his car and push the 2 trash cans together. The owner of the house came out and says, "You touch him, I'll call the cops on you." And I was going to take a picture of one house, but he ran out. He says, "You take a picture of my property and I'll call the cops on you." So, we don't want confrontation. But I think when there's an event like this, especially for the community center, they do have this problem all the time. I don't think it's right that people put their trash cans out as early as 11 a.m., and that's the time I took these pictures. I think it's wrong. Their trash pickup is on Monday. Now, I know in Southside, sometimes if we left our trash cans out 2 days extra because you went on a 2-day vacation, code enforcement would send us letters. I think we should have, there should be somebody that we can call on a Saturday when there's a function and say, hey, call the police department. Somebody say, you know what, I can't park here. You can put 15 cars, but we have all trash cans blocking it. Somebody should be able to go out and talk to these people. So I did take pictures of trash cans and cones so they can give you guys an idea of what goes on and what the community center goes through all the time. And now, regarding the situation on Badillo, I live at 1800, you all know that. I took the pictures that you're going to that Jesse turned over. I do call for the abandoned cars. If cars are there 3-4 days, I call, they mark them. If the marking's 3-4 days old, I'll call back and they'll come back and tow them. I did have a car tow out that the tag expired 2 years, but there's 22 pine trees from the west end of our property, the property all the way to Orange and Badillo. Those pine trees are city trees. And you'll see in the pictures where they all fall. And on the bottom of the trunks, the branches are growing, so people can't even open their car doors. But we do have people that park there. We do have 2 cars that are storage cars, but I'm going to take this up with my manager that just spoke so he could bring it to the tenants' attention. But I would think it'd be nice if we had signs out there, no sweep. Because I've been there 6 years, and I cannot say in 6 years that the sweep guy has come straight down. He can't. There's too many cars. So I would like to see that cleaned up because we have new owners. They bought the property December 17th. I think they're doing a good job. And for them to come forward, I couldn't get the past owner from Triumph to come here. And I remember that Andy said the owner has to contact us. Well, some owners are slumlords. They just want our rent. They don't care what the front looks like. But you know what? These new owners do, and I'm happy for that. So I hope you'll work with them on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Real quick, staff can look into that as well on the trees, if that is the case, to have them trimmed back or whatever we can do, and they do have the numbers. Shannon, did you have any brief comments? Or?
No, I did get the address, though, and we'll go by and look at it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Next speaker is Irene Fleck.
Good evening. As you can guess, I've got some news about the library. So just a few highlights. Halloween, of course, is for both adults and children. We're having on our second Saturday program, October 9th at 2, Thomas Safer, who is a film historian, is going to present animated Hawaiian films. But this is strictly an adult program. But we have something for the kids, too. On October 26th, Tuesday night from 6 to 7:30 is going to be a Halloween extravaganza. And then something new. On the fourth Saturdays from 11 to 3, we're having Family Game Day. And I just talked to Josh, one of our librarians. They've done this in other county libraries, and it's going to be table games and video games. And they will have some Wii games. And in some of the other library, there has been a spin out. Kids come in other days other than the family day, and then they're reading books, checking out things and all. So it has a real potential for getting interest, spreading it out a bit. And then something intriguing, to me it is, we're having a parent seminar on Wednesday, October 20th from 6 to 9, and the title is Raising Financially Responsible Children. This may be a little late, but I think it sounds like a good idea. And then something fun is the annual bookmark design contest, which is on right now. And the reason I think it's really exciting is that this is last year's winner, and it's a West Covina 7th grader. It's Janessier Tron. So I think that that's going to be a fun thing, too. And then this is completely different. In the last 3 weeks, I've had 3 different people contact me or ask me about a dog park. I don't have a dog, but these people are really, really interested, and I hope that this is still under consideration for you people to do a dog park, because it would make happy people and happy dogs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It sounds like a lot of nice things going on over there. Our next speaker is Mr. Herb Redholz.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, and good evening, council members and staff and folks. You know, just watching the presentations earlier with these parents and kids and everybody involved, it just lets us all know we have a really terrific community of fine people here, and with these kids, it looks like the future's in good hands too. So it just warms your heart. I want a couple of comments. At your last council meeting, I requested an update from Shannon regarding the work that was going on the south side with the digging up of the roads of the for the irrigation lines, and I want to thank Shannon for his prompt and complete response, because the following morning early I checked my email and he had emailed me the entire itinerary for that project with everything, all the information on it, including the planned completion date, which is November 8th. So I just want to thank him for his follow-through on that. Also, I requested, and I'm glad to see that Council Member Tui is got a Mother May I request for Proposition 22. Glad to see that. Yesterday, the Tribune editorialized quite strongly, coming out in favor of that proposition. It was written by the League of California Cities, and it will indeed protect this city and all other cities from Sacramento, quoting the Tribune editorial, stealing from local governments to balance its own books. So it's important that this come back to you and this city council takes a strong position favoring Proposition 22. With that, I thank you.
Thank you very much. That is our last speaker. I did have one other quick thing in reference to one of the previous speakers about the ice cream trucks. Mr. Yahtzee, do you know if we have anything on the book in that reference to that, or Mr. City Manager?
I know the license, they have some conditions in the licensing section of the codes, but I'm not sure they address the hours of operation. I think we'll have to look into that.
Okay, thank you. All right, that concludes our oral communication, and we move on with our consent. Item D, any items need to be pulled off, or a motion is in order?
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second for the consent calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is our E1, which is our public hearing on the weed abatement 2010. Mr. City Manager, was there a reference to that?
I recommend that you not conduct the public hearing and just receive and file the report.
Okay, motion is in order.
Motion to receive and file.
I have a motion.
Just so I understand what that means, are we acknowledging that those people are in violation, or?
We're basically saying that they are now in compliance, and that if there's any further problems with any of the any lots in the city, we'll go ahead and deal with that through the normal municipal code sections.
Okay.
Okay, a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item F is our community development. I would recess the City Council meeting to convene our CDC meeting. On our agenda, City Clerk, roll call, please.
Chairman Sanderson?
Here.
Vice Chairman Herford?
Here.
Commissioner Hernandez? Commissioner Lane?
Here.
Commissioner Tui?
Here.
A motion is in order for the consent calendar unless any items need to be pulled.
So moved.
Madam Mayor, I have one question.
Councilmember Tui.
And maybe I just missed it in the report. It says selection of bond financing team. What is exactly? Because I'm trying to find where it actually talks about that, or I missed it. That's maybe
That's on the
right?
second page. It's a
Right.
regular item. It's not on consent, correct, Mr. City Manager?
There's a staff report.
It's
Yeah.
not on consent. There's these items aren't numbered, but there is a staff report.
Do we want to go ahead and approve
Following
the
the treasurer's
consent calendar, which is the minutes and the treasurer's report? Motions. I have a motion on the floor. Do I hear a second? For the consent? I have a motion and a second. Approval of the consent calendar only. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'll vote no.
On the consent calendar?
No, I'm sorry. On the, I want to vote no on the bond council.
Okay, we are going to discuss that
Okay.
next.
I'm
That'll
sorry.
be next.
I'll vote aye then.
Okay, aye. All in favor? We have no no's on that, Miss City Clerk. So item 2A, section of bond financing team. Do we want to hear a staff report of council? It's a pleasure.
Yes, please.
Staff report, Mr. City Manager.
Mr. Bachman.
Okay. This pertains to an upcoming Community Development Commission bond issue specifically pertaining to the Eastland Amendment 1 project area, which is the area that encompasses the BKK landfill, which now has a commercial shopping center, the BLD site, as well as some future development potential up on the top deck. When this project was formed in 1990, there was an agreement with the county that the county would receive 58% of the tax increment from that project area. As part of that agreement, the county agreed to defer 50% of their share of the 58% for the first 20 years of this project area, with the intent to have more money flow into the project area to do projects. That 20-year period expired on June 30 of 2010. Over that time, the county has deferred about $10 million. That is now per the agreement, becomes a loan that is now due to the county. Per the agreement, essentially they would take just about any remaining tax increment that comes from that project area until that $10.1 million is returned. They would also accrue 7% interest on the unpaid balance starting as of July 1. We've looked at the redevelopment agency's cash flow, and this would cause quite a bit of stress on it. What we're proposing to do is finance the deferral that's owed to the county, pay the county a lump sum payment, and extend the repayment out over a longer period of time. This allows us to shape it around our other debt obligations that are due by the Community Development Commission. There's two items we've identified that we're still working with the county on to finalize. One of them has to do with the fact that the city was obligated to pay $6.5 million this year to the Supplemental Educational Revenue Augmentation Fund that was passed as part of the state budget. We're making we're of the opinion that the agreement with the county provides that is a pass-through that we have to pay that should be taken into consideration, and there should be some sort of allocation that we should be able to reduce the amount. Essentially saying they're eligible to pay 58% of the amount that was due by the Community Development Commission and paid by the Community Development Commission that's allocable to this project area. That number is almost $2 million. So we've sat with the county and indicated to them that we believe that the $10.1 million should be reduced by about $2 million because of this. There's also another issue, and that actually the ERAF payments is just a piece of the $2 million. We also believe that they've miscalculated part of the other provisions of the deferral. So the combination of those two reduces it, we believe, by about $2 million and get it down into about the $8 million range. The second thing we asked the county to do is to identify a capital project to use these proceeds on. By them doing that, that would allow the city or the CDC to issue these bonds on a tax-exempt basis, which can be done at about 2% cheaper than doing it on a taxable basis. So they indicated that they would look at that. We still haven't heard a final answer back from them, but we're hoping to wrap up those two issues. So as far as the bond issue goes, it could go anywhere from roughly a $10 million tax-exempt issue in the best-case scenario to about a $13.5 million taxable issue in the worst-case scenario if we don't come to any agreement on these issues with them. So at this point, we're not exactly sure what it is, but the intent still is to finance it because it's generally a necessity to help even out the redevelopment agency's cash flow. What we're seeking tonight is some direction on selection of the bond financing team. There's a number of players involved, but the four major players are the financial advisor, the bond counsel firm, the underwriting firm, and then to a lesser extent, a firm that prepares the fiscal consultant's report, which is an independent projection of tax increments for the project area. That's a requirement for the official statements in tax allocation bonds. I'll go through them one by one and give you what staff's recommendations and reasons why. We have not issued bonds since 2006, and a lot's changed in the financing world since then. But we believe that the approach we used back then was a successful approach and generated some significant cost efficiencies for the city. In that instance, we went on board with a financial advisor, bond counsel firm, and then we RFP'd the underwriting firm, and you get the underwriters to compete against each other. and that drove our underwriting fees down to lower than anything we had seen in the last 10 years. Our recommendation here I'll take them one by one. For the financial advisor, we've been using Suzanne Harrell of Harrell and Associates. She spent, a good part of the last year and a half working on, on the analysis of this debt issuance, as well as helping us develop our cash flow projections, of which this debt issuance is a large piece. So it's our recommendation, based on her familiarity with the project and the work she's already done, that she continue in the capacity as a financial advisor. Bond counsel, we've historically used Fulbright and Jaworski. We did an RFP for bond counsel in 2007. They were one of the approved bond counsel firms, and the other 6 are listed in the staff report. That's Best and Krieger, Burke, Williams and Sorensen, Jones Hall, Richards, Watson, Gershon, Rutan and Tucker, and Squire Sanders. I don't believe we would recommend Best and Krieger, given the publicity that they've got for some of their roles in a local city that's gone bad. Our recommendation, again, is for Fulbright and Jaworski, and again, they've continued to work with us on a number of issues that we've worked on in the last 4 years, even outside of doing the bond issue. Most recently, they've assisted us in replacing 2 of the letter of credits on 2 of our outstanding bond issues. As the financial markets have crumbled, banks issuing letters of credits gotten very few and far between. Wells Fargo, which is our main bank, has stepped up and provided the letter of credits that replaced our 2 existing ones. Fulbright and Jaworski assisted in that, and again, we're recommending them to continue in that role. The underwriting firm, we're recommending that we RFP that process. There's about 4 main players that currently are issuing tax allocation bonds. We've identified 8 or so that have done it. The majority, most recently, have been done by Stone and Youngberg and De La Rosa. There's Piper Jaffray, Wedbush, and there's another 4 or so that Citi, Kinsella Newcomb, Southwest Securities, and Wolf Hansen. We would go out to all those various firms and identify any others that are active in the tax allocation bond market. Again, it's a little bit different than some of the bond issues that we've done more recently, which were on the city side, the lease revenue structures. And finally, on the fiscal consultants report, HDL does a lot of work for both our sales tax and property tax. They're very familiar with our project areas. They've done the report. The last time we issued tax allocation bonds, which was in 2002. Again, being very familiar with the project areas, they've got the processes and the templates in place to analyze this, and we think that would be a very efficient firm to bring on, plus the fact that this is one of the things they do very well. So those are the recommendations from staff. We'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of staff? Mayor Pro Tem Herford.
Tom, there's no cost allocations here, and that's what concerns me. And I just heard for the first time that we had a financing person working on this for a year and a half. And, I knew we were doing something, but I didn't know what was going on for a year and a half. But I know we have to do something in this area, and not against the concept, but I'm against the fact that there are no estimates, cost estimates.
Right. The cost estimate, for the financial advisor, and part of this is due to a lot of the work that's already been done. The bond issue itself would be in the $40,000 to $45,000 range, and there's been about $20,000 worth of work done previously to that. Bond counsel would run roughly about $50,000 for the bond issue, with another $20,000 or so for disclosure counsel, which is part of the issuance as well. The underwriting firm, again, that's going to be subject to the bidding process. And the fiscal consultant's report should run about $18,000.
Councilmember Tui.
I have concerns, number one, that we were working with a person who it ended up giving that firm a leg up because they did the work, whether they were doing it for free or they were being paid along the way, and it got them in the door. That, to me, doesn't seem right. I'm talking about Suzanne Harrell and Associates, is based on how even you portrayed it, that they were doing some work all along, so it's made it simpler. Well, it also got her the contract. So I think other financial advisors would have also been willing to do some work had they known they were going to get a contract out of it. So, of course, I understand what she was doing. I'm more concerned with what staff was doing on that. And we're going out to RFP on the underwriter, but for a bond counselor, you kind of didn't go out to RFP. I would prefer to have all this go out to RFP. And I don't mind the one comment you made about the bond counselor. I have my same concerns over Best Best and Krieger. They have not been found to have done anything wrong, but they were the legal counsel that provided all the legal opinions and was the city attorney for the city of Bell. There was also a $35 million bond issue over there. I'd like to find out who was involved in the $35 million bond issue that is going to take the city of Bell to bankruptcy. Who was involved in giving that financial analysis to make sure that we don't possibly consider someone who bankrupted another city. Those are some of my concerns. I've heard the dollar amounts, but the one Suzanne Harrell got to work basically here under, because she was under a certain level that the council didn't have to get involved because the city manager has authority by himself under certain amounts, and now it was really a piggyback. It was really over that amount because she, I think, is owed, if she does this, it's $40,000 more, if I understand what you said correctly. So it was actually a $60,000 contract. She just operated some under the radar screen before there was a contract, and now she'll get an additional $40,000 never going out to bid. I have concerns with that, and Suzanne's a great person. It's nothing to do with her capabilities, but I would have provided some type of assistance too in preparing the analysis if I knew I was getting the contract. And this to say Fulbright's always done it, I don't know if that's an answer in itself, that Fulbright and Jaworski should get it again. You've listed other names for them. The only one who you didn't really recommend for RFP was the financial analysis. The bond counsel, you said we could, and you listed other firms that are here. So I think to be the cleanest, I would prefer to put it all out for RFP and let the cards fall where they fall. But I do want to get the information on Bell and who was involved in the issuance of that $35 million. There's also a $70 million bond out there where no one really knows where the money is. So I want to make sure that none of our financial advisors that are dealing with bonds with us, since they can't find the money in Bell, I want to make sure they're not doing our analysis here, and I want to employ someone who can actually find the money and knows where it is. I want to make sure that people we're recommending are not part of that process, because I'm concerned with what's happened over there.
Any other council discussion or questions? Thank you for the report. It sounds, would that be a motion that you'd like to?
I'll make a motion to send it all out for RFP.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Motion is in order for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of adjournment to our regular council meeting?
Aye.
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 Next item on the agenda is item H1, which is Councilmember Roger Hernandez's item. Did we want to hear that? What's the council's pleasure?
Madam Mayor, I make a motion to have the city take a position in support of Proposition 23.
Okay.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is item I1. Councilmember Michael Tuohy's request for consensus to instruct staff to prepare a report to the City Council to take position on Proposition 22. Councilmember Tuohy.
Yes, I'd like to take a position in support of Proposition 22. I know the League of California Cities is supporting this, even though we have some other issues with the League of California Cities, so the residents realize that they've been pushing to put online all of the city salaries, which our city has already complied, but the League of California Cities themselves has refused to do it. So we don't know how much the head guy of the California League of Cities makes, but he's telling us how much, he wants to know how much everyone else makes. We've gotten preliminary some of the information, and he won't give us the box 5 what he wants. He wants box 5 of all the employees' W-2s That's what John Chang, I believe, was asking for with the state controller's office, but he's refused to, and they're government workers. They have government pensions, and he makes at minimum around $275,000 to $300,000 plus a year. And he was saying how high all the city managers have been paid when he actually gets paid more than 5 of the city managers in Los Angeles County. So it's kind of ironic. He won't produce his numbers, and I just think I appreciate on the Proposition 22 issue, but he should stand up and be this as accountable on his salaries. I'm asking the city to take a position to support to stop the state from taking our monies, and even though you see the budget supposedly is balanced, make sure you know how the state government does it. They just went ahead and said we're going to get more income. We're anticipating more income than we thought. That means it's for real, even though the money's not there. That balances the budget. You make a $7.5 billion cut, you say you're going to get $14 billion more in revenue, even though the books don't show it, but as long as they prepare analysis for that, then therefore they have a balanced budget. It is deceiving, and this will protect them from taking more monies. And I still reading the proposition, this still doesn't protect us. What the other problem we're having is they used to pay us in the beginning of the fiscal year. Now they pay us in March to June. So basically after the fiscal year is over, they'll pay us money. So we have to borrow money in the interim because the state won't pay us the money that is constitutionally owed to the cities, and that's another whole issue we're having. But I just hope the council will support us on this, and to thank the League of California Cities on this one thing, but to bring it back, we have to bring it back for a vote.
Do we really have to bring it back, or can we just take a position? I don't think we have to bring it back, do we? We can just...
Yeah, because of the time frame is what I was thinking.
I'll make a motion to have the city take a position in support of Proposition.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. At this time is the end of our council meeting. Is there any council comments or adjournments?
I have a AB, even though it's
Okay.
not here, I don't think. I may have missed it. AB
Sorry.
1234 report. I attended ICSC in San Diego, and we had a chance to talk to some of the businesses here. The good news is our Fresh and Easies are doing way better than, at least the one at the Heights, way better than anticipated. And the other one's doing better, so they're very happy with it. That was one of the retailers that were there. And a lot of the retailers are excited about what's happening at our mall and at other shopping centers in our city. The mall is with Nordstrom's Rack and Best Buy and Forever 21 is going to be turning the page with a lot of new retailers. So that's good.
Okay. Any other? I know I've got a lot of comments from residents. They're excited about what's going on at our mall as well. So any other comments? Okay. A motion is in order for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.